Hello, and welcome to another edition and another episode of Glam Care Academy. My name is Nurse Amy, and I'm so thankful for you guys being here. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for coming along this journey with me, of starting my business, and also, um, it's just a new chapter in my life. I've had to restart. I've had so many acts in my life where I've had to restart or jumpstart my life, my career, my education, and it's just one of those things. And I'm so glad I have the opportunity here at Glam Care Academy to actually share some of my challenges. So I'm on this path now where I'm an aesthetic nurse. I'm a registered nurse, and a lot of nurses don't know. And when I say nurses, I'm actually going to include CNAs. Yes, they are not skilled nurses, but they're part of the nursing department. So please understand why I include them. Okay, again, we're all about inclusion here. And if you don't understand that, inclusion just means, not playing God and being mindful and sensitive to other people. And that I am. So, but I do find that a lot of people in healthcare. So I'm going to use the word interchangeably. Sometimes you're going to see me you're going to hear me and see me say healthcare and nursing and all that, but please just understand, in the general scheme of things, I mean healthcare people in healthcare. But I do know a lot of healthcare people really do not know all the choices that they have. That is the wonderful thing about nursing. Okay, I just did that. I keep doing that. You can work anywhere. You can be anything. I do find, and I have said this before, for those of you who don't know, I also have another channel called Nurse Amy Academy, where I talk about things, education, healthcare, and what have you, and all that drama that goes on. But I do find that a lot of people do not know, a lot of people in healthcare really do not know the options they have. For me, my journey into aesthetics, because someone had asked me, why aesthetics? I started to dabble in it. I was looking for things that I can do, that I don't have to move around a lot. Again, if you don't know my history, I've been in healthcare sector as a nurse for over 20 plus years. And in that course of time, I've kind of come to hurt myself because I'm not using proper body mechanics. Okay. And so what happened is I have this chronic pain. I have sciatica and lower back pain, which can be excruciating. I've been told that I do need surgery, but then I'm looking at alternative ways of dealing with this. And I have been trying to cope with it, but there are times when it gets to be so much for me. And it's getting to the point now where I'm sorry, I think I'm kind of, it's that time of year where my allergies are acting up. I don't know. So I'm itching right now. So what was I saying? Oh dear. Okay. It's it's be, it's come to a point where I cannot actually do bedside nursing. It's become too challenging for me to go through even an 8 hour shift. It's become really challenging, and it's something I've done in the past. I mean, it's so interesting. 20 plus years ago, when I first started into healthcare, I could do 16 hours and I not even think about it. Of course, I was younger. And then 12 hours, I did 12 hours. I mean, come on, to even make sense of any kind of nursing pay. I don't care if you're paid $100 an hour. Okay, I always tell people this. They always say, oh, well, nurses make money. Well, nurses work many hours. So if you pay $2 an hour and you work as many hours as nurses do, you'll make money too. It's going to add up. But how many people are ready to do those grilling hours as nurses do? So let's put things in perspective. Nurses, if you ask me, they're not the most well-paid people. And again, nursing, I mean, healthcare, I mean, CNA, I mean, all that whole industry. But people always like, oh my God, they make boku money. Well, yeah, how about working 24/7? You're not supposed to, but then that's what nurses and people in healthcare do. So if you just work your 8 to 9, your 8 to 5 job, and that's it. If nurses did that too, they would not be making anything. So please put things in perspective. Nurses don't make that much money. But anyway, I digress. the point I'm trying to make here is that it got to be too much for me because, again, I'm answering this question, why aesthetics? So I was looking for things that I can do, that I don't have to move around a lot. So aesthetics came to my mind. I thought about lashing. I actually started lashing. And let me tell you how I got started on this lashing journey. So I wanted to get, I think my husband and I were going on a trip or something, and I wanted lashes done. So there's a girl at my work, a nurse that I work with, and I loved her lashes. I'm like, oh my God, I want to do my lashes. And she's like, oh yeah, I can hook you up. I have a friend. So I went to get my lashes done. It was beautiful. It was nice. And only to find out the person lashing my lashes, lashing my lashes, lashing my lashes, lashing my lashes, um, was an LPN. She was a nurse. And I'm like, oh my God. And I was so fascinated by that. And I'm like, and this was like 4 years ago. That was 2017. Is that 4 years? I don't know. Whatever. But anyway, and I asked her, I'm like, oh, do you used to work the floor? She's like, oh, heck no, I can't do that. I've got little kids. And so I like this. And she was actually kind of, was she renting a booth, or it wasn't even a booth. It was like a space somewhere. But eventually she's moved on now. I think she's gotten, because I've moved from that city, but I think she's gotten her own place. But that got me really interested in it because I was like, oh my God, here I am dealing with pain. And all this young lady does is she just comes in, does her thing. And she said, oh, I take maybe 4 or 5 clients, depends on how I feel. And that was it. And I'm like, you're sitting down, you're doing this, like, yes. Now, don't get me wrong. Being a lash artist, which I'm going to talk about, it's not like it's easy, a piece of cake. No. For me, I was looking for something where I can sit down and not have to move around a lot. Because when I do so, even sitting around gives me pain, but I find that the grueling back and forth on the floor as a nurse was really, the wear and tear was heavy on me. So I thought lashing might be it. So I got trained in lashing, and then I started to do it on the side. I would do it. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. I'm not really into cosmetics, and that's the truth. I'm not really into the makeup, and I'm not, the lashing I kind of liked, because I guess maybe it appeals to me because I'm artistic and I'm a creative person. So I love taking from no lashes to lashes and just trying out my own bit there. And that's how my lashing journey started. And I'm thinking that's a good thing for anyone who wants to sit down. And for me, it was part-time. However, right now I'm trying to bring it mainstream. Does that make sense? So that's how my journey into aesthetics started. It was actually with another nurse. And so she was doing it, and then she had gotten off nursing. I think for me, I was just trying to get away from nursing, but not totally leaving my nursing license. Does that make sense? So hence, therefore, nurse aesthetics started. And I didn't even know there was a name for it. I didn't even think there was a name until I met another young lady actually on YouTube. And she was talking about aesthetic nursing. And then I started hearing about, I'm like, oh, there's a thing like that. I'm going to research this. And what is this aesthetic, thing? And I'm like, oh, okay, these are things that I've been interested in this. So I am interested in this. Okay, let me explore further. So I was doing that. And that was even before I started my teaching job, as working as a CNA instructor. By the way, there's another question I get from people wanting to know how to get started to being a CNA instructor. That's something I'm also going to talk about, because again, there's so many people in healthcare looking for ways to make a living without just being on the floor. Nursing is tough, but it's rewarding. So if you want to remain in the healthcare field or in that service field where you're still servicing people and bringing happiness to people and bringing happiness to people, well, yeah, aesthetic is something you want to look at. I've done home health. I've owned a home health company. And I might still go into that. Again, you can wear many hats Nothing is stopping you. Nothing should stop you. Do not let yourself be labeled. Okay. My thing is run your race. You need to be able to run your race and know that don't limit yourself. Please do not limit yourself. People are going to tell you what you can and cannot do. That's their thing. You do your thing. Okay. So that's how I got started on this journey. I just wanted to come and talk about it because that was a question someone asked me, why aesthetics? Because it's new to me. It's exciting to me. It still ties into my nursing. I eventually want to own a med spa. I really do. Again, it's a service I'm giving to people. I'm still caring for people. My med spa is more medical, in that I actually would love to go into that place or that part of the industry where it's more medical than just the aesthetic part of it, which is aesthetic. Don't get me wrong. It's cosmetic, it's aesthetics, but it's more about people who need it because they've had some kind of medical procedure or something like that, which I would expatiate more on. But I wanted to come to you guys to answer that question. And please keep throwing me more questions and watch my vlogs. I'm actually going to be uploading vlogs where, again, I bring along, from my grassroots marketing, which I don't know if I have that video on already, but I'm just trying to show you guys, hey, look, if I can do it, believe me, you can do it. My thing right now with these videos that I'm bringing out is start it. Start. Start. What is that thing? Start. Whatever it is, start it. Just start it. All right, I'll catch you in my next video.